Today, I'm going to show you how you can build your very own Amazon Echo Dot second generation wall mount or ceiling mount on the cheap. So as it happens where I live, it costs as much to import and pay taxes for an Echo Dot wall mount as it does for the wall mount itself, which is a little bit unreasonable in my opinion. So I'm going to show you how you can do it on the cheap using a drill, some drill bits, and whatever kind of screws you can get your hands on, and a very inexpensive piece from the hardware store. So this is a PVC end cap, and this typically goes on the end of a PVC sewage pipe to cap it off. This is a 3-inch end cap, and being a 3-inch end cap, it has an inner diameter of 3¼ inches to fit over top of the outer diameter of the 3-inch PVC pipe. As it happens, the Amazon Echo Dot second generation is 3¼ inches wide, and so these two fit together perfectly. And as you can see, it sits in there nicely. You can push it in as deep as you want. I'm not going to push it in too deep because I want to get it out, but it's not going to come out. You can mount this on a ceiling, you can mount it on a wall. It's not gonna plop out on you. And being that it's an end cap, it has this nice area back here that you can put against a flat surface, being a wall or a ceiling, and you can drill through and screw into a stud if it's on a wall, or a joist if it's on a ceiling. Or if you don't have a stud or a joist, you can actually get a particular type of drywall anchor that you push through the hole, and it springs open and holds against the back of the drywall. So what you need to do to make this work for your Echo is you're gonna have to find the hole for the USB plug on the Echo and measure off the top of that, and it's about 3/4 of an inch from the top of the Echo, at least on mine, to where that hole is. So then you're going to measure down 3/4 of an inch from the top of this, and you're going to make a mark there, and that's where you're going to drill your hole. And you're going to start with the smallest drill bit you have, so that you can make sure that you get that hole lined up properly. And then as you get through there with the small drill bit, and you make sure you've lined it up, that's your pilot hole, then you're going to use a larger size drill bit, big enough that you can get a micro USB through. This drill bit is maybe a little bit big for that. This is, what is this, 3/8? You probably don't need 3/8, but in any case, it's the drill bit I have handy. So once you've got that hole large enough that you can put the micro USB in, then you're going to want to put you can put your Echo in and just fit it, and make sure that you can actually connect in the micro USB. Once you've connected the micro USB in and verified that that's going to work okay for you, you take it apart again, and then you're gonna go find your wall or your ceiling where you want to mount this, and you're gonna drill. Probably a good idea to pre-drill a couple of holes for whatever kind of screws you're going to use. So I've got a couple of different examples of screws here that you can get. You can get flathead. You might have drywall screws lying around, or you might have like pan head screws. It doesn't really matter. Ideally, you want something that's going to go into wood, or if you have metal studs, something that's going to go into metal. These are all pretty much for wood. In any case, once you drill the holes in this, you're going to want to make sure that, also I should have mentioned that you're going to want to make sure that if you're pushing this in, you have enough clearance for whatever anchor you're going to have back here. So for example, you have like a pan head screw, it sticks up a bit, so when it's on the bottom, it's going to be sticking up. Now, in this case, it's not going to be an issue if you're just using this unmodified. But in my case, I'm actually going to cut this down. So anyway, but yeah, that's basically the idea. You're going to take this and you're just going to screw it into the ceiling. Then you put your Echo or into the wall, put your Echo into the case, and then plug it in, and you're good to go. You got a ceiling mount or a wall mount, and it's going to cost you like $3. One thing I'm going to do before I actually start this is I'm going to wash this down because it's been sitting in the bin at the hardware store and it's kind of dirty. But yeah, so I'll show you what it looks like after I've done my modifications. Again, I'm going to cut mine down because I want it to be close to flush with the ceiling. But yeah, I'll show you after it's all done and it's up. So we're back, and one of the things I should have mentioned is that some of these end caps fit differently than others. This is from a different home center than the other one I had, and it fits in a lot deeper than the other one. So just a heads up so you know that they're not all the same. But it doesn't really matter because they are manufactured to the standard size, and they all fit the Echo if they're 3-inch PVC end caps. So I've just set up here really quickly. I've got a stud finder on the wall, so I know that my stud is running here. So I'm just going to mark that on the wall quickly, and I'm just going to install this real quick to show you how easily it's done. So one thing I should have mentioned also is that you're measuring the depth, which is 11/16. I said it was 3/4. It's closer to 11/16 than it is to 3/4. So that's just something to note. But you're actually measuring it from the top of the Echo when the Echo is in the housing to the depth that you want it. If you just go from the top of the housing, then you're going to end up being off of the hole. So it's about 11/16 from the top of the Echo to where the center of the USB port is. And so 11/16 is the mark in between 5/8 and 3/4. So I'm just going to mark down 11/16 somewhere on there, just so I have a little mark. I'm just using pencil for that. And I'm going to use that in a second to do the install. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just putting my drill. I've got a magnetic drill bit holder that holds the screw in. And I'm just going to take this and I'm going to put it so that it's on the stud. And I'm going to try and get this lined up. The camera's a little bit in the way. And I'm just going to drive it into the wall. So it probably helps if I put in the other one. So I'm just going to put the other one also lined up along the same line of the stud. Okay, so now I'm in the stud. So I don't need the magnetic bit holder anymore. Okay, so now you can see that it's mounted securely to the wall. It's not going anywhere. And I'm just going to quickly drill in using the smallest drill bit that I have on where the mark is. And start with your smallest drill bit first, and then use a slightly bigger drill bit. And then you might want to take your echo and quickly put it in and see if it looks like you can see the USB port through there. And I can, so that's good. And so now I'm just going to use the big drill bit. And there it is. Get this the right orientation. Not quite straight, but you get the idea. So really quick and easy, do-it-yourselfer kind of job. So I'll just show you, there's the hole. And it turns out that this 3/8 drill bit is a perfect size. If you don't have a 3/8 drill bit, you only have small drill bit, you can wobble the drill bit around in the hole to enlarge the hole till you get it to the size that you need. Next up, I'll show you the more advanced install where I put it on the ceiling and I shave it down a bit. But really, I mean, this is great. For $2, you really can't beat it. So this is my prototype ceiling mount. In this particular case, I want it to be very close to being flush with the drywall. So you can see here that it's going to be just maybe a little bit taller than the drywall, which is perfect. I want it to be very close to flush with the ceiling. And then the echo, as you can see, it works just fine. Alexa, say hello.
Hello.
It works actually a lot better in this position than it did in the built-in wall unit that I had it previously. So let me just show you what I did. So obviously the simple version of this would be to just cut some holes, drill some holes so that you can pass through the cable. But in my case, I cut it down so that it would be flush, and then I just notched the back of it. And that lets me put the cable into the case and get it up into the ceiling really easily. So once I get the ceiling up and I paint and everything, I'm going to take the plastic off of the echo itself. Just another thing about the enclosure is being for 3-inch PVC, the outside diameter of this PVC pipe is actually 3.5, so I have a 3.5-inch hole saw, just a cheap one, and so I'm going to use that to actually cut the hole in the drywall. So I'm going to take this down, I'm going to cut the hole, put up the drywall, cut the hole in the drywall, and then I'm going to screw this up. I just wanted to get an idea of how it would work in terms of the height, so I have it shimmed so that it's level and everything like that. So we'll come back when that's all done. So I've got the echo mounted into the ceiling. As you can see, the PVC pipe is just barely visible, which is how I wanted it. This is a bit of an advanced setup, so I would certainly not recommend this unless you're fairly handy. One little thing I had to do, which I wish I had done better, is I wish I had considered how to route the cable a little bit better. But I should be able to make that look okay after I do a little bit of
of cutting and mudding around it. I have to tape everything anyways, mud and tape everything anyway. So this is how it looks. It's very functional, mounted on the ceiling. I have to say it picks up audio quite a bit better than it did when it was in the bookcase. Over here it was in the bookcase, and the bookcase walls seem to cut off a lot of Alexa's ability to listen. So that's it. I'm pretty happy with it considering how little it cost and how little time I had to spend on it. Alexa, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Until the next one.